This is Tom Myers, Superintendent of the Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. I'm going to make it a quick under 5 minute report here for everyone. Just an update. Last night we had a lot of things going on here. Obviously, we had the basketball games. The varsity girls came off with a great win over Cascade last night. Our other teams were not quite as fortunate, but the girls played very well in their win. We had an awesome pep band last night with Evan Davies and his crew out there. The Comet Pep Band did an outstanding job. We had the Comet Dance team out there at halftime of the boys' game. Another outstanding job there, and we had a very good crowd last night as well. I encourage you to come out. Also, if you're interested in watching it online, there is a small fee. Contact the school. Ask to talk to Dave Wright. He can hook you up with single game coverage or full season. We're getting close to the end of the season, so I'd say a single game coverage. But next year we will have something where you will be able to watch any football game, any basketball game, volleyball game like that that are at home at least for one certain price, a pretty reasonable price, especially for those people who do not live in Bellevue or that just cannot make it out of the house or whatever the case is. So wanted to let you know that, but contact the school for more information on that National Federation of High Schools opportunity that you can have here at the Bellevue Schools, offering something to our stakeholders and our community members who just cannot make the game or whatever the case is. Upcoming events here. Today's Wednesday, not a lot of extracurricular stuff after school or anything like that, but Thursday night, it's tomorrow night, we have middle school, 7th grade boys basketball at home against Monticello. Excuse me, the 8th grade goes to Monticello. We have a high school bowling meet at Horizon Lanes versus DeWitt Central. We also have wrestling at Cascade versus Cascade and Iowa City Regina tomorrow night, and that starts at 6 on Friday. Basketball teams, fresh off JV, varsity, all travel to West Branch to play, starting at 4:30 that way. So you kind of have some information there. On Saturday, we have a wrestling tournament at Midland. Some kids have been doing very well. In fact, at Monona, at MFL Marmac up in Monona this weekend, Mason Lyons was first place in his weight division. Mason was a state competitor last year at the state meet. As a junior, doing very well once again this year and had a great summer as well with that. Then getting into Monday, we have middle school basketball at Cascade, both 7th grade and 8th grade. And then on Tuesday night, we play basketball again, but this time it's at Northeast. We go with the full realm of JV and varsity games there and things like that, and that's starting at 4 o'clock. We also have wrestling that night at North Lynn High School, and that's against East Buchanan, Starmont, and obviously North Lynn. I want to also recommend a couple other student things for everyone to recognize here. We had Haley Severning, Riley Seymour, Drew Chapman, and Haley Severning, Allie Parker, Drew Chapman, and Riley Seymour participating in the Dorian Honor Choir at Luther College here a couple weekends ago that way. Our robotics teams have been involved with a variety of things that way at home and at different places. One thing I think I mentioned in the past, we have a STEAM activity after school here starting next Monday. It'll be Mondays and Thursdays. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics all put together. They'll be doing some robotics things, a variety of different things with Mrs. Van Vleck and Mrs. Wetzel, middle school science, and our high school math teacher. So they'll be working some things after school, kind of like a CAPS program in many ways we've had in the elementary. It's an extension of it to the middle school, actually at the middle school. I encourage you to get involved with that if you want. It's a great opportunity for your students to be involved with something very productive. I want to go to one thing here on my office. I have a bunch of things behind me. Obviously, you can see one up top. There's a new one up there this week, creating chefs or cooks. It's easy to be a cook. Just follow the recipe. Here we are. Here's the recipe. Half cup of milk, half cup this. Yeah, usually that's supposed to turn out correctly. Doesn't always for me, but it's supposed to turn out correctly. A chef creates things. They have an idea of what it may take, but here's some other things I'm going to add to you. You know, life is being a chef. Nothing is ever dealt to us 100% here. You do this, this is going to happen. Every once in a while, yeah, that happens, but as a whole, there's little side things go in there. And we want our kids to be chefs. We want to create people who can create things, who can make determinations, make decisions based on information that they're given, making our education relevant for life. It's easy to go from a textbook, but we believe in going from more than a textbook. It's that beyond the textbook learning I've talked about before. It's not about turning the page to the next unit and going from there. That's a guide, but we need to go much deeper than that. So just think about that. As a chef or a cook in your life is more than likely being a chef and not a cook. Very easy to do some things by the book that way, and there are some things we can do that way, but many things we have to think far more than what the book says. It's kind of like someone told me when with kids, there's no book on how to raise kids, and that's true. There's guidelines and ideas, but you have to ultimately do it. I'm a little bit over my time. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully the weather stays well. We'll talk again next week. Have a great week, everyone.